Today's reading from the Old Testament, Genesis chapter 50 verse 17 to Exodus chapter 2 verse 22. Thus you say to Joseph, now, please bear with the transgression of your brothers and their sin, for they have done you evil, and now, please bear with the transgression of the servants of the God of your father. And Joseph weeps in their speaking to him. And his brothers also go and fall before him, and say, Behold, we are to you for servants. And Joseph says to them, Do not fear, for am I in the place of God? As for you, you devised evil against me, but God devised it for good, in order to do as at this day, to keep alive a numerous people. And now, do not fear, I nourish you and your infants, and he comforts them, and speaks to their heart. And Joseph dwells in Egypt, he in the house of his father, and Joseph lives 110 years. And Joseph looks on Ephraim's sons of a third generation, sons also of Machir, son of Manasseh, have been born on the knees of Joseph. And Joseph says to his brothers, I am dying, and God certainly inspects you, and has caused you to go up from this land, to the land which he has sworn to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob. And Joseph causes the sons of Israel to swear, saying, God certainly inspects you, and you have brought up my bones from this place. And Joseph dies, a son of 110 years, and they embalm him, and he is put into a coffin in Egypt. And these are the names of the sons of Israel who are coming into Egypt, each man and his household have come with Jacob. Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah. Issachar, Zebulun, and Benjamin. Dan, and Naphtali, Gad, and Asher. And all the persons coming out of the thigh of Jacob are 70 persons. As for Joseph, he was in Egypt. And Joseph dies, and all his brothers, and all that generation. And the sons of Israel have been fruitful, and they teem, and multiply, and are very, very mighty, and the land is filled with them. And there rises a new king over Egypt, who has not known Joseph. And he says to his people, Behold, the people of the sons of Israel are more numerous and mighty than we. Give help, let us act wisely concerning it, lest it multiply, and it has come to pass, when war happens, that it has been joined, even it, to those hating us, and has fought against us, and has gone up out of the land. And they set princes of tribute over it, so as to afflict it with their burdens, and it builds the store cities of Pithom and Ramesses for Pharaoh. And as they afflict it, so it multiplies, and so it breaks forth, and they are distressed because of the sons of Israel. And the Egyptians cause the sons of Israel to serve with rigor, and make their lives bitter in hard service, in clay, and in brick, and in every kind of service in the field. All their service in which they have served is with rigor. And the king of Egypt speaks to the midwives, the Hebrewisses, of whom the name of the first is Shiphrah, and the name of the second Puah. And says, When you cause the Hebrew women to bear, and have looked on the children, if it is a son, then you have put him to death, and if it is a daughter, then she has lived. And the midwives fear God, and have not done as the king of Egypt has spoken to them, and they keep the boys alive. And the king of Egypt calls for the midwives and says to them, Why have you done this thing, and keep the boys alive? And the midwives say to Pharaoh, Because the Hebrew women are not as the Egyptian women, for they are lively, before the midwife comes to them, they have borne. And God does good to the midwives, and the people multiply, and are very mighty. And it comes to pass, because the midwives have feared God, that he makes households for them. And Pharaoh lays a charge on all his people, saying, Every son who is born, you cast him into the river, and every daughter you keep alive. And there goes a man of the house of Levi, and he takes the daughter of Levi. And the woman conceives, and bears a son, and she sees him, that he is beautiful, and she hides him for 3 months. And she has not been able to hide him any more, and she takes an ark of rushes for him, and covers it with bitumen and with pitch, and puts the boy in it, and puts it in the weeds by the edge of the river. And his sister stations herself far off, to know what is done to him. And a daughter of Pharaoh comes down to bathe at the river, and her girls are walking by the side of the river, and she sees the ark in the midst of the weeds, and sends her handmaid, and she takes it. and opens, and sees him, the boy, and behold, a child weeping. And she has pity on him and says, This is one of the Hebrews' children. And his sister says to the daughter of Pharaoh, Do I go? When I have called a suckling woman of the Hebrews for you, then she suckles the boy for you. And the daughter of Pharaoh says to her, Go, and the virgin goes, and calls the mother of the boy. And the daughter of Pharaoh says to her, Take this boy away, and suckle him for me, and I give your hire. And the woman takes the boy, and suckles him. And the boy grows, and she brings him to the daughter of Pharaoh, and he is to her for a son, and she calls his name Moses, and says, Because I have drawn him from the water. And it comes to pass, in those days, that Moses is grown, and he goes out to his brothers, and looks on their burdens, and sees a man, an Egyptian, striking a man, a Hebrew, one of his brothers. And he turns here and there, and sees that there is no man, and strikes the Egyptian, and hides him in the sand. And he goes out on the second day, and behold, 2 men, Hebrews, are striving, and he says to the wrongdoer, Why do you strike your neighbor? And he says, Who set you for a head and judge over us? Are you saying it to slay me as you have slain the Egyptian? And Moses fears and says, Surely the thing has been known. And Pharaoh hears of this thing, and seeks to slay Moses, and Moses flees from the face of Pharaoh, and dwells in the land of Midian, and dwells by the well. And to a priest of Midian are 7 daughters, and they come and draw, and fill the troughs to water the flock of their father. And the shepherds come and drive them away, and Moses arises, and saves them, and waters their flock. And they come to their father Reuel, and he says, Why have you hurried to come in today? And they say, A man, an Egyptian, has delivered us out of the hand of the shepherds, and has also diligently drawn for us, and waters the flock. And he says to his daughters, And where is he? Why is this that you left the man? Call for him, and he eats bread. And Moses is willing to dwell with the man, and he gives his daughter Zipporah to Moses. And she bears a son, and he calls his name Gershom, for he said, I have been a sojourner in a strange land. Today's reading from the New Testament, Matthew chapter 21 verse 19 to verse 40. And having seen a certain fig tree on the way, he came to it, and found nothing in it except leaves only, and he says to it, No more fruit may be from you, throughout the age, and instantly the fig tree withered. And the disciples having seen, wondered, saying, How did the fig tree instantly wither? And Jesus answering said to them, Truly I say to you, if you may have faith, and may not doubt, not only this of the fig tree will you do, but even if to this mountain you may say, Be lifted up and be cast into the sea, it will come to pass. And all, as much as you may ask in the prayer, believing, you will receive. And he having come into the temple, there came to him when teaching the chief priests and the elders of the people, saying, By what authority do you do these things? And who gave you this authority? And Jesus answering said to them, I will ask you, I also, one word, which if you may tell me, I also will tell you by what authority I do these things. The immersion of John, from where was it? From heaven, or from men? And they were reasoning with themselves, saying, If we should say, From heaven, he will say to us, Why, then, did you not believe him? And if we should say, From men, we fear the multitude, for all hold John as a prophet. And answering Jesus they said, We have not known. He said to them, He also, Neither do I tell you by what authority I do these things. And what do you think? A man had 2 children, and having come to the first, he said, Child, go, today be working in my vineyard. And he answering said, I will not, but at last, having regretted, he went. And having come to the second, he said in the same manner, and he answering said, I go, Lord, and did not go. Which of the 2 did the will of the Father? They say to him, The first. Jesus says to them, Truly I say to you that the tax collectors and the prostitutes go before you into the kingdom of God. For John came to you in the way of righteousness, and you did not believe him, and the tax collectors and the prostitutes believed him, and you, having seen, did not regret at last, to believe him. Here another allegory. there was a certain man, a householder, who planted a vineyard, and put a hedge around it, and dug in it a winepress, and built a tower, and gave it out to farmers, and went abroad. And when the season of the fruits came near, he sent his servants to the farmers, to receive the fruits of it. And the farmers having taken his servants, one they scourged, and one they killed, and one they stoned. Again he sent other servants more than the first, and they did to them in the same manner. And at last he sent to them his son, saying, They will respect my son. And the farmers having seen the son, said among themselves, This is the heir, come, we may kill him, and may possess his inheritance. And having taken him, they cast him out of the vineyard, and killed him. Whenever therefore the Lord of the vineyard may come, what will he do to these farmers? Today's reading from the Psalms, chapter 18 verse 22 to verse 28. For I have kept the ways of Yahweh, and have not done wickedly against my God. For all his judgments are before me, and I do not turn his statutes from me. And I am perfect with him, and I keep myself from my iniquity. And Yahweh returns to me, according to my righteousness, according to the cleanness of my hands, before his eyes. With the kind you show yourself kind, with a perfect man you show yourself perfect. With the pure you show yourself pure, and with the perverse you show yourself a wrestler. For you save a poor people, and cause the eyes of the high to fall. Today's reading from the Proverbs, chapter 4 verse 1 to verse 3. Hear, you sons, the instruction of a father, and give attention to know understanding. For I have given to you good learning, do not forsake my law. For I have been a son to my father, tender, and an only one before my mother.